At the end of last year, almost 1,900 RCMP officers were collecting their pensions because they suffered post-traumatic stress disorder. The military has a successful PTSD treatment program in place, but Global News has learned plans for a similar program for Mounties have been halted. Shirley Engel reports.
Their iconic Canadian image often masks the tragedy and horror RCMP officers are exposed to on the job. Just like soldiers, many Mounties bear deep psychological scars.
But anger, sometimes thoughts of suicide. I became a liability to my fellow officers and to myself.
Eric Ribier left the force because of post-traumatic stress disorder after tours in Croatia and Kosovo. He says he wouldn't have made it without a program funded through the military called OSISS, Operational Stress Injury Social Support.
Yeah, suddenly I was in a room full of peers who understood where I was coming from because they were going through it themselves. It saved my marriage, it saved my life.
Since 2001, OSISS has helped over 6,500 people cope, but RCMP only attend unofficially. Many want peer support of their own. Though the RCMP first expressed interest in setting up an OSISS program almost a decade ago, it wasn't until 2010 that work began on a pilot program for officers and veterans. But all of that work has come to a sudden halt. Declining our request for an interview, the RCMP confirmed by email a detailed analysis on the actual financial and human costs associated with operational stress injuries did not take place. Therefore, the pilot project did not commence. Adding there are no plans to pursue the pilot because the organization has in place policies and programs that promote a healthy and safe work environment.
The RCMP are at least a decade, almost 2 decades behind the military.
Dr. Greg Passy says rates of PTSD are higher in police than soldiers. Though peer support doesn't replace clinical treatment, it's a crucial part of recovery.
By the time they've hit the age of 40, they've been exposed to about 150 different types of critical incidents, any one of which can cause an operational stress injury.
Staff Sergeant Mike Casso is one of the few serving members who would speak publicly. His former colleague had PTSD and committed suicide.
If we had that program possibly in the force when he was a member, there may have been a different end result.
I know because it helped me.
And one that's been proven to save lives. Shirley Engel, Global News, Ottawa.